hugely disappointing to see this kind of IP for Disney perform in this way, but it is part of a bigger conversation around the box office and Hollywood struggles. And joining me now is someone who understands all this stuff so well. It is Michael Schneider, executive editor of TV at Variety, and someone I know to be doing better than the box office. True?
I think that's true of a lot of us, unfortunately.
It's a low bar right now. Yeah, Michael.
It's a low bar right now. It's rough, and it's been rough since the pandemic. I mean, right now, obviously, they haven't rebounded from the lows of the pandemic, and audience habits have changed, and you're seeing that reflected by these continual low numbers.
Yeah, I mean, and just talk about it in terms of both the Alto Nights and Snow White. I mean, as you say, the tastes have changed, the habits have changed, IP not performing like it used to. Put some context around it, too. Is it since the pandemic, at Q1 versus previous years? What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it's not one thing. It's sort of all the above. Pandemic obviously caused a lot of hurt, but it's also changed the way people consume films. They're watching more movies and TV shows at home, and the windows have really narrowed too. So I think a lot of people probably thought, well, that Snow White film, it'll be on Disney Plus in a couple of weeks, so I don't need to plop down my hard-earned money to go to the theaters where it's so expensive when I already subscribed to Disney Plus, and I'll just wait for it to show up there. I think a lot of people are thinking about that these days. Ticket sales are down 25% from pre-pandemic levels, and I don't know what it's going to take to get that to turn around.
Yeah, you think about the margins that everyone's operating on, 25%, it's a huge hit. You can't stay in business. And in fact, I saw on your publication, Variety, just the other day, 5,700 theaters have been closed down in recent time. And you just think about what theaters need to bring it back. What are they hoping for at this point? I saw AMC talking about 4DX getting almost like the new smell-o-vision, one of our producers was saying, kind of a wraparound experience. We'll have smell, we'll have lightning and wind. Is that going to work?
Yeah, and you see a lot of these places, they really have upped the ante with, the food that they offer, with the beverages that they offer. Some are adding, other attractions to their movie theaters just to make it more interesting. And of course, there's a lot of talk of, these big blockbusters, like you mentioned, putting in IMAX and 4DX and trying to really expand that experience that you can't get at home. But nonetheless, Regal Cinemas, Pacific Theaters, Alamo Drafthouse, they all filed for Chapter 11. Some didn't return. There's still this angst here in Los Angeles. We're still waiting for the Cinerama Dome to come back and ArcLight to come back, and it sounds like that's never going to happen. A lot of people are really bummed that they still can't go to the Cinerama Dome anymore.
It's so true. These are our crown jewels. We want them back, but so many people's habits have changed, so you nostalgically want it back. But will those people show up and buy the tickets? That's the big question. And the other part of all of this is just the fact that you talk about LA, the morale is low because in part production doesn't seem to be coming back. It's an industry town, and you and I were talking before we went to air about this moment in Rob Lowe's podcast. Yes, he has a podcast, sidebar. And he's talking with Adam Scott about the state of Hollywood production, especially with respect to Parks and Recreation and the lot they used to work on. I want to play a little bit for the folks at home, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Sure. It's cheaper to bring 100 American people to Ireland than to walk across the lot at Fox.
Right.
Past the sound stages and do it there.
Crazy. Do you think if we shot Parks right now, we would be in Budapest?
100% we would be. We'd be in Budapest. There are no tax credits. So like all those other places are offering 40%.
Yeah.
40%.
Oh, yeah.
And then on top of that, there's other stuff that they do.
Yeah.
And then that's not even talking about the union stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's just tax economics of it all. So it's criminal what the California and LA have let happen. It's criminal. Everybody should be fired.
Well. There's a lot of facts, some of which you could punch up probably, but an interesting conversation.
No, absolutely. And it is something that everyone's talking about. What is it going to take? Now, as we know, there are a lot of tax breaks here in California, and Governor Newsom is obviously trying to push more through. There's a real effort afoot to try to bring more productions back to Los Angeles. And there's still a lot of production here. One thing, Parks and Rec was created by Mike Schur, who has a new show starring Ted Danson, and he made sure that show also was produced in Los Angeles. So I'm pretty confident that he would have still made Parks and Rec here in LA and not in Budapest. But point well taken. And I think there are big concerns. A lot of people have had to move out of Los Angeles because production now is overseas. It's in Eastern Europe. It's in Australia. It's not just in Atlanta anymore. It's completely overseas. And that's causing a lot of angst. A lot of people figuring out whether or not they can survive here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's not just other jurisdictions and tax credits and the theaters. It's also just, will these big media conglomerates that have funded, underwritten, and produced so much of this content still exist? Who's going to be the owners? We're thinking a lot about Paramount and the Skydance merger. Obviously, CBS running afoul of the Trump administration with some respect with 60 Minutes. And so there's lots of sort of governmental regulation that's slowing down the transaction. But what do you understand of it so far? Where is it going? Will it be David Ellison, or will it be this other mysterious billionaire who's saying, I got billions more to offer? Maybe it should be me that buys.
Well, mysterious billionaires. I think we've had our fill of mysterious billionaires now, so we'll see about that. I do think Ellison still is the front runner for Paramount with Skydance, just because there's a plan in place. But nonetheless, they figured that this deal would be done by now. Clearly, the system has been gummed up, and the Trump administration is definitely using a weaponized FCC now to sort of attack things that this administration doesn't like, and use this as a bargaining chip to get rid of diversity and inclusion programs, and also take on news organizations that he doesn't like. It's having a chilling effect, and a lot of executives thought that there'd be a lot more mergers and acquisitions coming under this administration, but clearly that doesn't seem to be the case. And there's a real chilling effect right now in the business corridors, as people aren't sure now if anything is going to be passed, and if any mergers are going to be approved over the next few months.
Well, you got mysterious billionaires. Who knows what happens with this huge production company, essentially, that is Paramount. And then you have a quiet lot. Adam Scott's got a studio there, and he's saying, hey, I want some action going on. So you tell me, Michael Schneider, in the last moment here, you understand this old business so well. Is there a ray of light, or is it all just falling apart?
I hate the Chicken Little sky is falling aspect to it. I do think there's always opportunity. You always hear about surprise hits, surprise successes, both in streaming and broadcast. TV is having a great year with a number of new hit TV shows. We're right around the corner from a summer of some big blockbusters coming, including a new Jurassic World, Avatar, Superman, Mission Impossible. So a lot of great movies are coming, there always feels like right when things are at their lowest, there's something big around the corner. So I'm still going to be optimistic. There's a real movement afoot to bring production back to Los Angeles. And I do think that, people, especially after the fires this year, people are really have that rah-rah spirit of let's make Los Angeles work again. So there you go. I'm going to end on a positive note. I
love that. And if the Cinerama Dome does come back, you and I are both buying tickets.
Absolutely. Buying a big tub of popcorn.
I would love that. All right. Michael Schneider, thank you so much. Great to have you on. Really appreciate your time tonight.